Hey there, if you don't know me, my name is Maria and I like to make technology videos on the internet. And today we're going to a hackathon, but this one is not your normal hackathon. It's a curated hackathon called deCODE, and I'm going to the spring 2021 version of it. And it's all online, of course, virtually, but it's actually pretty cool because the way it works is that I think over 1,000 people applied to it, but then they only selected like 64 participants. And what they do is they match you with an actual company. So the companies sponsoring this like Google, Facebook, 1Password, Coho, and then they give you a team of 8 people, so 6 programmers and 2 designers, and then you work with people who work at that company and they give you a problem to solve. So then the company I got matched with is called Point Click Care, and it's a cloud-based healthcare type of company. No idea, I'm not in the healthcare industry. So the problem that Point Click Care wants us to solve is pretty interesting and outside of my realm because it's very data sciencey and like machine learning heavy, which I have never really touched a lot of. So I'll be very interested to learn this kind of stuff. So their problem is that out of the total number of patients discharged from a hospital, 23% of them are readmitted. This costs hospitals billions of dollars every year. It is vital for hospitals to track the performance of SNFs, skilled nursing facilities, to make sure that they discharge their patients to the ones which have a lower rate of readmissions. So they want us to build a model to predict how many patients from a single SNF have a high chance of getting readmitted to the hospital. And this will give critical insights to hospital staff, which they can then use to obtain partnerships with SNFs which have very low rate of readmission. So our task is to create a predictive model of how likely it is for a patient to get readmitted back to the hospital based on patient vitals, their health history while staying at an SNF, and based on caregiver notes. So they gave us some data sets, and then they also told us to try to look at Databricks and be using that, and they wanted us to create a front end. So this is going to be very interesting, and I'm excited to see what happens because I've never done any of this kind of stuff before. And I actually started a quick guide of how Databricks works, and then I also did some research on the different models that they said, because they said, oh, you should try to do 3 to 4 models and see which one is best for this type of data. And they gave us some data from like diabetes patients, and then they just sent us like a few links to different data sets that we can use. So it'll be very interesting. I've never done any of this before, so yeah, I'm going to become a data scientist now, basically. Gathertown is so funny because you only hear the things that are in your vicinity, so I can just hear like half of a conversation, just like, oh, you grew up in Ottawa too? Oh yeah, I'm gonna use my Uber Eats for sure, but it's like I don't know what the other person is saying. Okay, so we had a meeting with all my teammates and the people from Point Click Care who are helping us, and they explain what the product is and like all the healthcare stuff that we don't understand. So basically we need to build a front end where like a nurse can enter in the data and then like about a patient, and then get information back about like the prediction of like if that person is going to be readmitted into a hospital based off of the stuff they entered. So we're trying to create these machine learning models, and we split into our group into 2 people working on linear regression, 2 people working on random forest, and then me and this other girl working on, what is it called, light GDB, and the other 2 girls working on the front end and back end. That's what we're doing right now, and we're in breakout rooms on Zoom because Gathertown is too much. Yeah, so we've been trying to figure out which data we want to keep, which columns, and we finally found a function in pandas to figure out where like it counts all the question marks that we have in our data. So we're gonna take out those rows, so drop those, or drop those columns possibly, and then start working on our actual model. And we've just been looking at examples on Kaggle for how to do it, so it's pretty good. And then my teammate, I guess her internet cut out or something because now she's not in a Zoom call. Sad. Okay, we had lots of fun times, split up in groups, and then we came back together into the main room, and then one of the ladies from the Point Click Care gave us some advice about machine learning because none of us know anything. We were literally all like we don't know machine learning, and we all thought that at least a few people would know machine learning, and none of us know machine learning, except like we're all good, like we know how to program and stuff like that, so we're all learning it on our own. So it's pretty interesting. And the girl that I'm working with in my small group, she actually has done this kind of stuff in R, so she knows like more than I do, so she's explaining stuff to me. It's pretty cool, so that's good, I get to learn. But what we were thinking was, since we have like our x values are all of the columns in the table, and then our y is the readmission rate. So then that's stored as either no, so the person was not readmitted, less than 30, so that means they were readmitted less than 30 days after they left, or greater than 30, they were readmitted greater than 30 days. And she said that you can decide to group them actually together, so it could be 0 as no and then 1 as the other two. So then that makes things easier, because all of the kind of like tutorials we have found online are like binary ones where it's like 0 or 1. So then this makes it easier, so we don't have to do multi-class stuff where it's like 3 different types. And yeah, we're gonna break for dinner now because it's almost 6 p.m. and it's like dinner and networking on Gather Town for like 1 hour. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna come back and work from 7 to 9 p.m. And our goal is to try to finish our machine learning models tonight, and then tomorrow like do the back end and front end, like make the form where like a nurse can enter information and then like get data from our machine learning model. We're thinking maybe we can do like endpoints where like you can decide which machine learning model you want to use. I don't know if we're going to use all of them or just one of them, like the best one. We'll see. I'm not sure how this kind of stuff works, but yeah, it's pretty cool, and I'm excited to eat burrito bowl. I met another person from Lausanne, from York, and it was so much fun. We were talking about how York we always get. Yeah, it was hilarious. And we met some other girl, and we tried infiltrating the Facebook room, but then it felt awkward. And yeah, it was great. I liked Gather Town, it was fun. Okay, also our data is kind of weird because like it didn't come with a readme of like all the different things that the columns are, so we had to ask one of the ladies to explain all of them, and she found the descriptions. And one of them is like the diag 1, 2, 3, so like the possible diagnoses that a person can have, and then it's like a code, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or something. So we don't know what it is, so she's like, oh, maybe you should convert it to the other thing. We're like, what? Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that. Whoa, look, it worked. So first I'm printing out data.head, so it just prints out the first few rows, and if it's greater than 30, no, greater than 30. And then what I did is converting the readmitted data so that it's more binary, so it's zeros and ones, and then it actually worked. Woo! This is my first time using pandas, so that's why everything is interesting for me. And yeah, we're extracting everything, setting it x's and y's. Okay, I need to rerun this actually so we can see the ones and zeros instead. Yeah, very nice. And then creating a training and validation set. And then yeah, this is for the part where we were like, what should we be doing? And also setting parameters. So yeah, this is setting the data sets. So yeah, we're not using the categorical feature because we're not sure what that does actually. And we need to set parameters. Now we need to change these. It's not multi-class anymore. Okay, now I'm facing the problem where we have numerical and categorical data. So stuff like race, for example, you see it's like Caucasian, African American. It can't actually be like scaled properly and then used, because this gives me an error because it says, oh yeah, like could not convert string to float Caucasian. So I was trying to like fix it, so I wanted to add in this feature scaling and use like to numeric, but that's also not working. It's giving me this error, only integers, slices, ellipses. Okay, I found a good article on pythonprogramming.net that explains how to do machine learning with non-numerical data, and I'm going to try to write this type of stuff. So to convert it to numerical data for some of the columns that I have, like race, gender, and things like that. Hopefully this will work. Whoa, this is so cool. It converted stuff to numbers. So cool. It actually worked. Okay, I got pretty far. Now I'm getting an error on the training again, where it says it should be a list, numpy, 1D array, or pandas series. So I guess I'm saying them the wrong type for training data. Not to look into this. Okay, I googled it and someone said that .ravel worked for them before they created a data set. So I tried it over here before I added it to my training data. And then I called this again and it worked. I need to read what Ravel actually does though, because I don't get it. This is useful. It just flattens it. Very nice. Okay, I tried continuing to do the prediction and then to get the accuracy, but then it's not working. Okay, so it's like, oh, classification metrics can't handle a mix of binary and continuous targets. And apparently I tried finding like what is the type of the target, and one of these is continuous. I don't know why it's only printing once. Must solve this now. Yeah, so I can't figure that out right now yet, but she did tell us that we need to make sure that our data is actually balanced. So I checked the value counts for my zeros and ones for the readmitted column, and they are pretty much like very close. So it is a mostly balanced model, I guess. So as you see, I'm printing at the beginning what y pred is, and then it's all of these numbers. So it's like prediction. Then after going through this, it should only be 1 or 0, but it's still these numbers. So it's not doing this properly, I guess. Oh, okay, I think I know why this isn't working. It's because some of the values are still staying the same, because it's not going through all of them, it's only going through the first 100. And where we have a length of this many, so you need to go through all of them. Oh my goodness, I was just following a tutorial and I guess they only had 100 pieces of data. Wow, so bad. Oh my god, I did it, but the accuracy is shit. Or maybe this is a CM, I don't know, but it's horrible. This is so bad, oh my god. Okay, it's day 2 of the deCODE hackathon. It is very sunny and I am tired, so I want to sleep more. But yeah, we start at 10 a.m. and it's almost 10 a.m. right now. And basically, we finished 2 machine learning models yesterday, so what is it, linear regression and then light GBM. So I was doing the light GBM one and it has terrible accuracy, and I think the linear regression is slightly better. So we're gonna like probably tweak those and play around with those. And then the other like 4 people on our team, I think our team is 8 people, so it's like 4 people working on the models and then 4 were working on like the front end back end type of aspect of it. So it's like a Flask server and then like a front end in React. Okay, so we had our team meeting and a few people still aren't here yet. The women from the company came in and told us what they want us to do basically for the presentation, and they're saying that we have 6 minutes to present. I think it's at like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. and every team presents, and they want us to first of all explain like why readmission is important, and then they were thinking that we should explain the difficulties we had in wrangling the data, and then basically give an excuse for why our accuracy is so bad is because we're using one data set. Then I don't know, it's only skewed towards diabetes and that kind of stuff. They wanted us to show a lot of graphs, so I've been creating graphs right now. Hopefully if I have time I can try to fix my data so it's a little bit more accurate. So first of all, I did a heat map of all of our different values, and like looking at the readmission, I'll show you on the other page. Like readmission is like this bottom one, and this is how it correlates to all the other things. So it correlates a lot to number inpatient and all these other things. Age versus readmission count. Okay, I finished doing all the graphs and everything, and I just uploaded to GitHub. Let me show you. So we forked this other guy's repo and started working on top of it. And then I just added the files for LightGBM. Okay, so we have been struggling because something works on Windows OS but not on Mac OS, so I can't test things out because I can't figure out how to install it because my improve install isn't working. All this random stuff is happening, so I decided I have to work on the front end now. And they wanted to convert my graphs that I calculated for the model, convert it to actual like React graphs, or like using React charts, like that library. So I'm trying to do that and read from the CSV and JavaScript fun times. And yeah, getting all these errors, very enjoyable. This is how it currently looks. So there's a fake login, and then there's like some submission form if you go to / submission request, but I'm trying to go to / graphs. Yeah, this is just my tester graph. I want to see what's in the console though, to see if it converted my CSV. Console, oh yes, many objects. Oh yeah, okay, it got all the data, good. So we're trying to show a few of the graphs, like the ones I made in my model, like my machine learning model, but we wanted to actually show it on our website, so I had to actually do React, and it was disgusting, of course. And yeah, so we're using like have to properly read in the CSV first, and then we use this like d3.csv and yeah, read in the data correctly. And then we had to transform that data after, because like the way that this recharts, like this React charts thing reads it in, is very different because it wants it kind of to be in like an array of the JSON objects, and then originally we just had like objects when we're just reading in, so it's kind of annoying. And it was also like we had to do the stupid use effect and figure out that what we were missing was this thing, stupid arrow function. And then finally we got it, and it looks not too bad. We need to fix the CSS obviously, but look, when you run it, it goes whoosh and it loads all in, and yeah, it's beautiful. Time to present. Yay, I changed. We're finally done. We presented and everyone presented. We were second. There were 9 groups. Oh my god, so many presentations, and each presentation was 6 minutes. But they were so cool. Like, we built such cool things. I'm really proud of like all the learning that we did, even though we had no designers. So ours was honestly the ugliest out of all of them, because everyone else had like the UX, UI designers on their team. I'm jealous. But yeah, it was really cool to see what everyone built. A lot of people built like integrations into like what their company does, and we did something a little bit different. Sounds pretty cool. And we all learned about data science and machine learning, even though none of us knew anything about it. So I'm very proud of what we were able to accomplish. And yeah, they said we can go back to Gather Town and meet and network with more people, but I'm just gonna go eat because I'm really hungry. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this adventure. Definitely, if you're in Canada, then apply for deCODE for next year or whenever it's run again, but it's really fun. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. I met some really cool people, made some really nice new friends, and it was just a great experience. And plus, Uber Eats was great. So see you at the next hackathon. Bye.